Here's what nobody tells you about getting rich. It's not about the money at all. And if you're chasing money thinking it'll solve your problems, you're actually moving further away from wealth. I'm about to show you why 90% of people who want to be rich never make it, and it has nothing to do with their income. Look, I've been studying wealthy people for over a decade now, and there's something that keeps coming up that nobody wants to talk about. It's uncomfortable. It's not what you want to hear, and it goes against everything you've been told about making money. But once you understand this one thing, everything about building wealth becomes clear. And more importantly, you'll finally understand why you've been struggling to make real progress. Here's the brutal reality. Most people are completely backwards about wealth. They think rich people are lucky, or they had connections, or they stumbled into the right opportunity at the right time. But that's not the real story. The real story is that wealthy people think differently about money from day one. And this difference in thinking creates completely different actions, which create completely different results. You see, when most people think about getting rich, they immediately start thinking about the money itself. How much they want, what they'll buy, how their life will change. But here's the thing. That's exactly why they never get there. Because wealthy people don't think about money like that at all. Let me give you a perfect example. When a regular person sees a wealthy person driving a nice car, they think, I want that car. When a wealthy person sees another wealthy person driving a nice car, they think, I wonder what business they're in. See the difference? One person is focused on the thing, the other is focused on the system that creates the thing. This difference in thinking runs so much deeper than you realize. Wealthy people understand something that poor and middle-class people don't. Money is not the goal. Money is the result. It's the scorecard, not the game itself. And this changes everything about how they approach building wealth. Think about it like this. If you're playing basketball and you're only focused on the scoreboard, you're going to lose. You need to focus on making good shots, playing defense, working as a team. The score takes care of itself when you focus on the fundamentals. Wealth works the same way. But here's where it gets really interesting. Wealthy people also understand that there are invisible barriers that keep people from building wealth, and these barriers are all psychological. They're not about your education, your background, or how much money you start with. They're about how you think about money and success. The first barrier is what I call the instant gratification trap. Most people want to see results immediately. They want to start a business and be profitable in 30 days. They want to invest and see huge returns right away. But wealthy people understand that real wealth is built over time, through consistent actions that compound. They're willing to do things that don't pay off for months or even years, because they understand the power of delayed gratification. I remember reading about Warren Buffett, and someone asked him why he doesn't just teach everyone his investment strategy since it's not really that complicated. His answer was brilliant. He said it's because no one wants to get rich slowly. Everyone wants the shortcut, the hack, the secret method. But there isn't one. Wealth is built through boring, consistent actions over long periods of time. The second barrier is what I call the scarcity mindset. Most people believe that there's only so much wealth to go around. So if someone else gets rich, that means there's less for everyone else. This creates a competitive, envious mindset that actually pushes wealth away. Wealthy people understand that wealth is created, not divided. When someone else succeeds, it doesn't take anything away from you. In fact, it proves that it's possible. This scarcity mindset shows up in so many ways. People get jealous of others' success instead of studying it. They focus on what they don't have instead of what they can build. They spend time complaining about the system instead of learning to work within it. All of this energy goes toward maintaining poverty instead of building wealth. The third barrier is the comfort zone trap. Most people are comfortable being uncomfortable with money. They're used to living paycheck to paycheck, used to not having enough, used to making excuses for why they can't build wealth. And because they're comfortable with this discomfort, they never take the actions necessary to change it. Wealthy people understand that building wealth requires being uncomfortable in a different way. It means taking risks, learning new skills, facing rejection, dealing with uncertainty. But they're willing to be uncomfortable in the short term to be comfortable in the long term. Most people choose to be comfortable now and struggle later. But here's the part that really messes with people's heads. Wealthy people also understand that money amplifies who you already are. It doesn't change your character, it reveals it. And this is scary for most people because they haven't done the inner work to become the type of person who can handle wealth responsibly. Here's the moment of truth that separates people who build wealth from people who stay broke forever. Wealthy people fall in love with the process of building wealth, not the idea of being wealthy. They enjoy solving problems, creating value, serving others, and improving systems. The money becomes a natural byproduct of this process. Poor people fall in love with the idea of having money, but they hate the process of earning it. They want the result without the work. They want the freedom without the responsibility. They want the reward without the risk. And that's exactly why they never get there. This is why so many lottery winners go broke. They got the money without developing the mindset and skills that create money. The money didn't make them wealthy, it just made them temporarily rich. There's a huge difference. Real wealth comes from becoming valuable. When you focus on solving bigger problems, serving more people, and creating more value, money flows naturally. When you focus on the money itself, you miss all the opportunities to create real value. So here's the harsh truth about getting rich that no one talks about. It's not about the money. It's about becoming the type of person who naturally attracts money. It's about developing the mindset, skills, and habits that create wealth as a byproduct. Most people have this completely backwards. They think they need money to become successful, but actually they need to become successful to get money. They think wealth is about luck, but it's about preparation meeting opportunity. They think it's about taking from others, but it's about creating value for others. The people who build real, lasting wealth understand that money is just a tool. It's not the goal, it's not the measure of success, and it's not what will make you happy. What makes you happy is becoming the best version of yourself, solving meaningful problems, and contributing something valuable to the world. And here's the beautiful thing. When you shift your focus from getting money to creating value, not only do you build wealth faster, but you also build the kind of wealth that lasts. You build the kind of wealth that gives you real freedom, real security, and real satisfaction. The choice is yours. You can keep chasing money and staying broke, or you can start building real wealth by becoming valuable. But now that you know the truth, you can't pretend you don't know it anymore. If this opened your eyes, make sure you subscribe for more wealth psychology content that nobody else is talking about.